Sergeant Dorian Hale had been taught that the Vargoth were monsters, towering apex hunters made of iron bones and shadow-woven flesh. Every briefing hammered it into the soldiers. Shoot before they see you. Run before they hear you. The Vargoth conquered planets by extinguishing suns and devouring the light itself. Nothing good ever followed in their wake, but war has a habit of proving even the scariest stories incomplete. Dorian's squad had been tasked with reconnaissance on the dead world of Arcanus 12. The sun had been drained to a faint ember, just enough glow to cast endless freezing night over everything. In the black ruins of once great cities, something moved, something breathing. The squad spread out, lights tight, weapons tighter. Then all hell broke loose. A collapsed tower groaned and fell, taking half the platoon with it. Dorian was thrown into a chasm of cracked duracrete. He landed hard, stars flashing behind his eyes. Screams echoed above him, shouts, gunfire, then silence. He tried climbing out, but the walls crumbled, sealing him deeper into the abyss. He turned, weapon raised, ready to face death in the dark. A low, pained growl vibrated the air. Dorian switched on his wrist light, and the beam cut through dust to reveal a nightmare pinned under fallen infrastructure. A Vargoth Titan, at least 3 meters tall, trapped beneath a massive chunk of starship plating. 4 arms, 2 limp, 1 twitching weakly. The last clawed into ground like it still wanted to fight. Its armor-like hide was torn open, leaking a luminous black ichor that slowly crystallized into dark shards. One of its 6 eyes flickered. The others were sealed by dried blood. A living terror. A killer of worlds. And it was dying. Dorian's first instinct. Finish it. His hand tightened on his rifle, then froze. The creature whimpered. Not a roar. Not a threat. A sound full of exhaustion, of resignation, of fear. Dorian had heard that sound before, from soldiers begging medics to stay with them, from friends who knew they were living their final minutes. The Vargoth's one open eye locked onto him, not with hunger, but with a plea, do not leave me alone. Dorian's breath caught. He lowered the gun. Can you understand me? He asked into the stillness. The Vargoth's response wasn't voice, but psychic, a whisper brushing his mind like a fraying thread. Light. Warm. Stay. Dorian swallowed hard. Every regulation, every survival instinct screamed to back away. But his humanity spoke louder. All right, he said quietly. I'm not going anywhere. He holstered his rifle and approached, cautious but resolute. When he touched the Vargoth's cracked armor, it flinched, then went still, like the warmth of his gloves brought relief. The chasm was freezing. The dark was suffocating. And the beast was alone. Dorian dragged emergency heaters from his pack, activating faint amber light. The Vargoth shuddered, its breathing easing. The darkness retreated a little. Hours passed. The beast's wounds oozed darkness that hardened to jagged crystal. Dorian cleaned the exposed muscle with careful hands, ignoring every voice in his head telling him this was madness. Finally, the creature spoke again. This time, aloud. A rough vibration of a voice, shattered by pain. You are human. Guilty, Dorian said, forcing a tired smile. You fear me. Also guilty. Yet, stay. Dorian shrugged, though he wasn't sure the beast understood gestures. Nobody deserves to die alone in the dark. The Vargoth stared at him a long time. In those depths, Dorian didn't see a monster. He saw someone who was scared of the same thing every living being feared. Dying unseen. Name? The beast rumbled. Dorian. Craxith, it replied with a heaving breath. Hunter Captain. Last of my unit. Dorian blinked. Your people fought here too? Craxith managed a hollow laugh, like rocks scraping. Vargoth did not drain this sun. We came to stop the ones who did. The revelation hit like a pulse grenade. Everything humanity believed was wrong, but understanding could wait. Survival could not. The structure pinning Craxith was shifting, threatening to crush him fully. Dorian braced himself, muscles burning as he pushed. He screamed with effort. The plating lifted just enough. Kraxith roared, rolling free, but collapsed again immediately. He was too weak to walk. And Dorian was too weak to carry him, alone. "You're not dying today," Dorian grunted. "Come on, fight with me." Kraxith's eye narrowed. "Madness. Human madness." "Yeah," Dorian said. "We call it hope." The heaters flickered out. Power drained. Cold surged back. The dark pressed close, alive and hungry. Dorian huddled next to Kraxith, sharing body heat. The Vargoth curled one massive arm around him protectively, lowering a wing-like membrane to shield them both. "If you want, sleep," Kraxith whispered. "I will watch." Dorian let out a breath that wasn't fear this time. "We'll watch together." Above them, rescue drones finally located faint life signs. Hours later, when a retrieval team blasted open the chasm roof, they froze in disbelief. Human and Vargoth. Surviving together. Dorian stood first, refusing to move aside when they aimed weapons at Kraxith. "He's a soldier," Dorian growled, and he fought the real enemy. "Stand down." The soldiers hesitated, because Dorian stood in front of a darkness-forged titan like a shield, because the Vargoth looked at the human not with hatred, but loyalty. Kraxith's mind whispered softly into Dorian's. "Friend." Dorian helped load him onto the evac lift, ignoring the stares. Humanity would question this, fear it, want to kill it. Dorian didn't care. He had seen the truth in the dark. Fear creates monsters. Compassion reveals allies. Weeks later, as Kraxith healed in a Terran medical facility, guarded but alive, Dorian visited him every day. One evening, Kraxith spoke with newfound strength. "Among Vargoth, death alone in darkness is deepest dishonor. You gave me light. You gave me dignity." Dorian chuckled. "You gave me bruises. We're even." The Titan tilted his head. "We are not balanced. Vargoth repay debts." A pause. "Heavy. Unbreakable. You are under my protection now, Dorian Hale, and any who threaten you will face the night itself." Dorian grinned at the enormous hand extended toward him and placed his own much smaller hand against it together. A human who refused to leave a dying beast alone in the dark had earned more than survival. He had earned the loyalty of the galaxy's greatest predator, and the first alliance forged in the shadows would one day save the stars from going dark.